Connor Murray.
Yeah.
Running on a platform for more affordable healthcare and energy, transitioning over to clean environmental sources. I'm the only Democratic candidate. I'm running in the 18th Essex district.
Right.
In the general election in November.
Major influences in your life. What are some things that really influenced you in your life? And you're 23, right?
Yeah. 23. My parents have been hugely influential. They've brought me up to be compassionate and empathetic and see things for what they are and see people as equal, who are everybody's just trying to do their best in this world.
Yeah.
And putting other people down isn't going to bring you up.
Right.
It's just going to bring the whole system down.
Yeah. And the election you're about to do is in May, you said?
November.
Okay. Oh, okay. But it's not one of is it an open thing where they all run?
Seat. Yeah.
Okay. So Democrats and Republicans run at the same time.
Yeah. And I have one opponent. He's a Republican.
Okay.
I'm the Democratic
that's all?
candidate. Yep.
There's only two of you so far. Okay. Yep. And, but you guys, so there's no primary?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, if somebody else joins the race, another Democrat, then there will be a primary in September. But so far, that hasn't happened.
And it's not what's the thing called? Proportional. There's not proportional thing at all. If there's only two. Is that called proportional voting? Where you take the top two. What's the term? Where you take the top two, and then they run. If there was like four people running.
Oh yeah, no. It's nothing like that. It's literally whoever gets the most vote wins.
But you don't have to over 50%. You don't have to do that.
No.
Okay, and you have a sense of how well you're doing. There's been some polling and all that stuff.
No polling or anything. But I'm out in the community. I'm making an effort to talk to my neighbors in all four towns. Okay.
Tell me the names of the towns. I'm going to ask that anyway.
Andover, North Andover, Tewksbury, and Boxford.
Okay. And they're world famous towns, I know.
Oh, of course, yeah.
In fact, somebody wakes up.
America Town.
Somebody wakes up tomorrow in France and says, I really want to go to Boxford. Right?
Yeah.
They wake up and said, Boxford has been my lifetime dream.
Yeah. No, Paris, they wake up in Paris and they're like, I really want to go to Tewksbury today.
And Connor, hi, first of all.
Hi.
And I met you at those incredible events when it was cold as hell and we were doing Christmas carols and other things in front of the ICE detention center in Burlington, Mass.
Yeah.
And you were there. You were one of maybe the youngest people there? I don't know. What do you think?
I would say so. There were some parents that brought their kids, but I might have been the youngest person that came alone.
That's right. That's right. We're counting that differently.
Yeah.
Right. We're counting that differently. And you were quick to say that you weren't embarrassed about saying I'm running for state rep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many people know what a state rep is?
Not enough. Not enough. People know about their Congress members. People know that they have U.S. senators.
Right.
But not enough people even realize that there's a whole separate state legislative system.
Right, right. And what do you think is most important about the state legislature? If you get in, what's the most important things you can do?
Most important thing we can do right now is make living in Massachusetts easier for people.
And affordable.
More affordable. Yeah. I mean, people are moving out of Massachusetts.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, much faster than they're moving in. To New Hampshire, down south, to the Carolinas. And it's not because of a political thing. Republicans will say, this is because of the Democrats. It's not.
It's not.
It's because the cost of living here is insanely high. So we need to fix that.
So we have to get rid of all the educated people.
Exactly. That's what I always say.
There's too many there's too many PhDs around, right?
Well, I mean, I graduated college in May.
Yep.
And
From where?
From Iona University.
Which one?
Iona.
Okay, so nobody's heard of that. Nobody wakes up in Paris, says, I got to go to Iona. Where is it?
Yeah, it's in New Rochelle, New York. It is definitely a small school, but, we're D1.
Okay.
I played rugby there, D1 rugby. And
is D1 high or low? Oh, D1's high.
D1's the highest, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So,
and you were a rugby guy?
I was a rugby guy,
okay.
All through high school, all through college.
Oh. All right, this guy's got balls. Can I say that? I mean, rugby is one of the toughest sports at all. Totally. Okay, explain. No, you don't have to explain rugby.
You want the rules of rugby? That might take a while.
Okay, so Iona, is it a liberal arts type place?
Yeah, it is a liberal arts place. It's a great school. It's not as politically active as I would have liked it to be. So when I got into Iona, and I had come from a background in high school of being big into activism and legislative advocacy.
Wait a minute, where was that? Andover High?
Andover High, yeah.
Okay, how did you do that? I mean, were there other kids really fired up too?
Yeah, at Andover High, definitely. Yeah, there were, especially after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting in Parkland. Yeah. I was a freshman in high school when that happened in 2018.
In Miami.
And we were,
was that the one?
Parkland, Florida.
In Parkland, Florida, yeah.
And we were all terrified. I mean, just the fact that could happen. Obviously, Florida has different state laws and makes it a little bit easier to get a gun.
Right.
But Massachusetts at the time wasn't doing enough on its own.
Okay.
So we were like, terrified. We shouldn't have to walk into school every day thinking, oh, I wonder if today's the day somebody walks into second period with a gun.
Unbelievable. And did you have to do drills and stuff like that?
Yeah, we did Alice drills. Yeah.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, it was a required thing. I think we did like 2 or more a year.
Really?
Yeah.
And so then the activism was about what kind of things?
So that's how it started. Was we formed a group called Freedom from Fear.
Good. That's a good name.
Yeah, and it was an activist group that started around gun control legislation. So we were pushing for red flag laws.
Okay. Red flag laws are about stopping people from buying guns who have all kinds of stuff.
There's a history of danger. There, the red flag law would come up and it'd say, "Sorry, you're not eligible to buy this gun. The risk is too high."
Yes.
So we started pushing for things like that back in 2018, and that was my first taste of legislative work and advocacy.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so you guys
finally, in 2024, Massachusetts did pass a comprehensive gun reform law, but years too late. So I want to make things more efficient.
In the sense of what? Well, years too late for that killing.
Everything. And Massachusetts, again, not as high a risk for shootings because of our laws, but you never know when these things are going to happen.
Right.
There needs to be a certain amount of efficiency coming out of our state government because you don't know when it's going to happen to you.
Was there any opposition in the state government?
Sure.
There was?
Yeah,
a
from
lot?
my state rep.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My state rep at the time was a guy named Jim Lyons. He was a Republican, pretty hardcore Republican, and was MAGA leaning.
Really?
I would say.
Okay.
Definitely full on MAGA by the end of his term. He was voted out of office by our current state, or he was replaced by our current state rep. People voted him out for her. Her name's Trom Nguyen, and she's a fantastic advocate.
Really? For those things?
Yeah, and she when I reached out to her, because Jim Lyons wouldn't even meet with me.
Oh, yeah.
He would not meet with my group. He would not meet with Freedom from Fear. Because it was, he wasn't going to support this bill.
Right.
So by the time Trom came into the legislature, she was all for it.
Good.
She met with us and she voted yes on that comprehensive gun reform bill.
And she's still in?
She is in now, and she's running for Congress, so her seat's going to be vacant. And then that's where I come in.
Yeah, hopefully. U.S. Congress against Seth Moulton?
Not against him. Seth Moulton's running for U.S. Senate against Markey.
Right.
And, you know, they both have their strengths. So that's going to be an interesting race for sure. And there are, I think, 7 candidates right now for
a market
Seth
for Moulton's seat.
Yeah, because it's going to be open the same way the seat I'm going for is open.
It's open. Okay.
Yeah, 7 Democratic candidates in that race, and then I'm the only one in mine.
Okay. And is she supporting you?
You know, I hope she does eventually. She's very supportive of my policies, I think.
Yeah.
But I think she's very focused on her own race, which is understandable.
Of course. Did you guys testify at the state? Did your group from Andover High get to testify?
I did not testify. There might have been people from my group that testified. Yeah, I remember one girl who's probably our leader. I would call her in that group. Her name was Charlotte Lowell.
Yeah.
She was very involved, got very close with Senator Warren. So she might have testified at the State House. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
But I did the more one-on-one type meetings.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. And you met with a lot of state reps and stuff.
Yeah. I had a great experience with our state senator, Barbara L'Italian.
Okay. Good. Was that, in the beginning, was that in any way intimidating, or were you very confident?
I was absolutely intimidated. This was my first time in the State House. It's a pretty fancy schmancy kind of place.
Well, it's hard to get into. There's all those steps to get up.
I know.
I don't like the way, it's not really customer friendly.
No, I wouldn't say so. And they just renovated it, so it is customer friendly now.
In what way?
They have a different entrance.
They do?
Yeah.
It's much more easy to get to?
Yeah, it's ADA friendly now.
Okay. It's about time. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, I was intimidated. Sure.
Yeah. How'd you deal with that?
I mean, the legislators made it easy.
Oh, they were nice. They were really nice.
Yeah, Senator L'Italian was very encouraging to have young people in her office.
Of course.
There were about 20 of us there that day.
Really?
Yeah.
All from Andover High?
All from Andover High, yeah.
You guys all skipped school that day?
Yeah, and this was on the march. What was the name of the big march? March for Our Lives.
Oh, right.
Yeah, if you remember that back in 2018. This was on the day of March for Our Lives while the rally was happening in Boston Common. We were inside the State House meeting with the legislators.
Wow. So you got excused absences anyway.
It was not excused, but we definitely skipped school.
Right on.
It's important stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so people who are sympathetic are very happy that young people, talk about the young people coming out for this stuff. They must say a lot about that. Yeah,
I think, like, with me, sorry for that. I think with me running at my age, 23, I think at first people are extremely surprised.
Of course.
Maybe I look a little bit older than I am.
No, you look younger.
Do I look younger? I don't know. But
you look too innocent. You look very innocent, right?
Good. Hey, maybe I'm optimistic about things.
Oh, good. Good. Okay.
But people are very surprised at first. They're like, 23, you can't possibly be experienced enough.
Yes.
And I mean, I would say that age doesn't necessarily correlate with experience first of all. And second of all, there are young people like me getting involved because we have that optimism, because we have our whole lives ahead of us.
I know.
And we don't want to live in a world that is, again, where schools are getting shot up. Right. Where, superstorms are ravaging our coastline twice a week. Yeah. Where 40% of Massachusetts residents say they can't afford to pay for health care.
Yeah. They don't have enough money.
Not good enough.
What's the one about they don't have money to survive for a month on the money something about that? What's the thing?
I don't know that stat, but I know, the 50, 30, 20 rule? So there's this rule in finance where it's like, okay, ideally you want to have 50% of your income for needs. Okay. Housing, healthcare, energy, groceries.
Yes.
30% of your income for wants, get a new car, whatever.
A vacation.
A vacation, sure. And 20% goes into savings. We're paying off debts.
And very few people have that.
You need to make, as a single person in Massachusetts, $120,000 a year
Johannes, did you hear that? Johannes, my techno guy, $120,000. Okay.
It's absurd. It's absurd. It's not. That's not the world young people want to live in.
Exactly.
I live with my parents.
You do? Okay.
I do. I wanted to move out.
Okay, wait a minute. What's it like living with your parents? Can I ask that question?
Yeah, sure.
Can you bring your parents in for an interview?
I'm sure they'd love that. Yeah, I mean, I think they're very supportive of me. They are. I don't think it. They are very supportive. They've shown it. I'm lucky to have them.
Yeah. And they've taught you a lot about politics. They've taught you a lot about politics.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. But get to the part now, and then we'll go back.
Yeah. So I live with my parents because I wanted to move out, but I got, a real estate person, and we looked at, apartments in the area. Yeah. Impossible.
Really?
Impossible.
What about with the roommates?
A little bit easier.
Yeah.
But, we eventually want to move out of, we want to have our own lives. We want to start families.
I know.
I'm 23, I'm young, but down the road, I would love to have kids.
Yeah.
I have to make $120,000 a year to even support myself.
All right. How much do state reps get paid?
A little over 80,000.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. So they're even state reps, If I get elected, I'll still be living with my parents.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's unreasonable.
People are not going to put you down for that.
Oh, they're
not going to criticize.
they might try, but it's not my fault.
No,
it's the fault of the cost of living in Massachusetts. Yeah. And I've had people tell me, you should get roommates. Like, that's on you for not getting roommates. If you want to move out, get some roommates.
Oh, they do say that. Yeah.
I've had people tell me, get a second job. I work nights right now as a security guard in an art museum.
I think, is that the one, were you the one who told me about, you have a friend who's also working with you? So
I've got some, all the night guards are very close.
Yeah, so it's not as boring as it would be.
Yeah, we keep each other entertained and awake.
Yeah, you were the one who told me about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I make $20 an hour at this job at night, and I campaign all day.
Okay.
And you're telling me that in order to meet my basic needs, I need to be working 16 hours a day at wages that don't match up to the cost of living and how bad inflation is right now, especially with tariffs.
Oh God. Have you seen that already? The tariff impact. Tariff impact.
Yeah, okay. And it's like we called it.
Yeah.
Of course we called it.
We knew
because any smart, economist looks at that and says, whoa, that's extreme. It's isolationist.
Right. Oh, totally.
We're shutting ourselves off to collaboration and partnership with countries around us.
Right. Even ones that we like, even allies. Even allies. Yeah.
Denmark's going to hate us for a century.
I know.
We might never move past this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Well, so you were talking about economic inequality also in a more broad sense, or more, and you were talking about tell me what you were talking about earlier when I saw you at the rally. Maybe it was somebody else, but about measuring economic inequality in terms of, the amount of income that can keep up with the inflation, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not being accurate enough, but something about
income that can keep up with inflation.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, $120,000 for a single person to meet the basic cost of living is unreasonable. Our median income in Massachusetts is about $60,000.
Really?
Yeah.
For an individual or for a family?
For an individual.
Okay.
So you literally need to have two jobs, two full-time jobs,
right,
to make the bare minimum. That's whacked out.
Of course. And we can't call the second job a side hustle. Although I like that term.
No, it's not a side hustle. And it's great. Yeah, I would love to have a side hustle. I think side hustles are great. Do your thing. Start a small business.
Right.
Whatever it is, clean cars. Who cares?
Well, we're doing a side hustle here, but we haven't yet made money. It hasn't been monetized.
Yeah.
But we're doing, it's keeping me happy. It's keeping me happy. But no,
sure.
of course.
But yeah, no, that's 2 full-time jobs. It's not a side hustle.
That's right. So
I've had people tell me that, get another job, and it's like, campaign for 8 hours? When am I supposed to sleep? I already don't sleep. Campaigning and working at nights. So
no, but the side hustle is the bank. That's not a side hustle. But the bank job is a bank. I forgot. Security
museum. Yeah, art museum.
Oh well, that's pretty cool.
Shout out to the Addison Gallery in Andover, Massachusetts, on the campus of Phillips Academy. Okay. It's free,
Is it really?
It's got wonderful art.
Does it really?
You should stop by. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do that. But so you're not going to catch the people who stole the famous thing because you make a lot of money.
I hope
was that
not.
the MFI?
I hope we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, museum.
At the Louvre.
Was it? No, I thought there was one in
the Stuart Museum.
There was one in Massachusetts that never got solved.
Oh yeah,
which one is that? The MFA?
Isabella Stewart Gardner.
Isabella Stewart Gardner. Yeah. So if you could catch that, you'd have a lot of income.
Yeah, no, right? We got to get on that. Me and the other night guards at the Addison are going to start investigating.
Absolutely. Do you guys at least have a good sense of humor, the two of you?
Oh yeah,
good.
Yeah, of course.
Good.
We're very close. I mean,
really?
There's not much to do all night except look at cameras and chat. So.
And look at the laptop or something, or no?
Yeah. I get a lot of time to research legislation.
Yeah.
So.
Do you like reading?
Yeah, I do like reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't be in your generation if you like reading. No, I'm joking.
I think people do like reading and they don't have, like young people do like reading and they don't have the time for it.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, there's a reading crisis and it's because it's not encouraged.
That's
What's encouraged is work. Yeah.
And STEM. Mm-hmm. And STEM, right? Yeah. But yeah, you heard about the scores going down and all that stuff. Sure. What would you say about that? Can you say something about that?
Yeah.
About the scores in Massachusetts on math and English going apparently quite down.
Yeah. I think there is some problems. We're having some problems with the education system in Massachusetts. I think reforms are necessary. I think we need to look at student-centered legislation. It's backed by data.
Okay.
And have measurable outcomes to see the impact of that legislation after it's passed.
Okay. What would you call student-centered? Give me an example.
For one example, there is a bill right now in the legislature to move start times later. I would support that.
Oh, you mean instead of so early in the morning?
Yeah. So you're not starting so early in the morning.
Yeah.
Right now, you're waking kids up at a time where their brain is still developing.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, you would know this. Yeah. Their brain is still developing.
Yes.
And you're waking them up, you're interrupting their sleep patterns, and you're throwing them into a classroom and saying, now process this, and we're going to test you on it.
At like 8 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
Or 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 8 in the morning.
Yeah. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Why would that be hard to get people to listen to that? Would that be hard to get people to listen to that?
Yeah. It's hard because, and there are some reasonable concerns that means you need to move end times later.
Yeah.
Keep that traditional 6.5 hour school day.
Okay.
But the world we live in now for teenagers is, all right, when you're not in school, you're going to be at piano lessons and you're going to be doing karate and you're going to be playing hockey.
Right.
And by the way, that's on top of homework. You better find some time for that.
Right.
So kids are staying up until 2 in the morning and then waking up at 6.
But
that's normal.
And they're also getting a lot of extra, experience.
Yes.
I mean, and educational experience from playing sports, learning how to get along in a group, learning hobbies, right?
Yeah, and that enrichment is important.
Enrichment.
But I think looking at and again, this is early for me. Like I haven't looked at the details of this sort of legislation, but I think it would be worth looking at the value of the traditional 6.5 hour school day and saying, can we make this shorter or implement learning into other areas of life so it's not constant and you don't get a recess and you get a short lunch period? That's not right.
That's absurd.
Kids can't handle that.
Yeah, of course.
Kids shouldn't need to be able to handle that. Adults can't handle that.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm taking recess right now.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. And Connor, what about the whole thing about the amount of time? Well, I mean, the amount of school days in a year, the amount of overall time that's required. Is that too much? Is it too little? What do you think?
It's interesting you say that, because that's directly related to the whole 6.5 hour school day thing. You can't say we're going to shorten the 6.5 hour school day
and still
without also being pragmatic and saying maybe we need to look at a shorter summer vacation.
Okay.
You know, right now it's an 180-day school year.
Okay.
About. And yeah, I think maybe teenagers and kids won't love me for saying that. But we need to do things that, you know, even if it sounds hard, makes people's lives easier.
So give me an example, but I mean, kind of articulate that a little more.
Sure. If you shorten the 6.5 hour school day, and also shorten summer vacation, then kids will have more time in the day for that enrichment. They'll be waking up at normal times. They won't have so much pressure on them for that 180 days.
Okay.
Because that's half the year where, as a teenager, you're gassed with homework, sports, music lessons, dance class. Like I did a bunch of stuff in high school, and
how many things? Let's figure out how many things Connor did. We're going to write the resume right now.
Show choir, drama guild.
Okay. Wait a minute. Which show choir? Which show choir?
Oh, you don't know about show choir? No. Okay. Let me tell you about show choir. Somebody from high school is going to see this.
How many people in my age know about show choir? Nobody.
I think it's been around for a while. Okay. It's popular in the Midwest. You ever see Glee? The TV show Glee?
I think I did.
It's like Glee on steroids.
Well, what about High School Musical? I saw that a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's singing and dancing. It's like a Broadway show crammed into 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah. And you compete. So we traveled all around the country competing with other schools in show choir to see who had the best singing and the best dancing.
As individuals or as the whole group?
It's a whole group.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you were in that. Yeah. And then what was the other thing you said?
Drama Guild.
Drama Guild. That I think I know about.
Did plays, did musicals.
Yeah. Did you like
rugby?
And rugby, that's right. That's rugby. Okay, so you might go from being covered in dirt from rugby and go to the show tunes and then the play thing.
Yeah.
Covered in dirt.
Yeah.
Your face covered in mud.
Yeah. I tried to make sure, like, I think in high school, if I'm remembering this correctly, our practices were on Tuesdays and Thursdays for
rugby. Yeah.
And then Mondays and Wednesdays were show choir.
Okay.
And then sometimes we would have like an extra practice on Monday or Wednesday.
Of rugby.
Yeah, it would be like, hey, Miss Kennedy, who was like our choreographer, and Mr. D, our director, bad news, I'm going to be late today, and I'm going to be showing up in rugby shorts and looking like I've just run a marathon.
And what would they say? But they accepted you.
Well, they accepted it, and they knew that there are other responsibilities that are expected of teenagers in the 21st century.
Yeah.
We're putting too much pressure on people.
Oh, yeah. And what are some of the negative outcomes of the pressure that you see? I mean, there's the whole thing. Depression.
I mean, you could speak to this as a psychotherapist, right? Yeah. Depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation.
Yes, I know. And people never talked about suicidal ideation in the past. I mean, on the one hand, it's like the stigma is lifted. That people can actually talk about it. Right?
You know, I wish I wish that were completely the case. I think people do talk about it more.
Yeah.
But it depends on where you are. There are some parts of the country that, and even of the state of Massachusetts, where you're viewed as weak.
Yeah.
It's so wrong.
And opioids. Is that still going on?
Drug use, yeah.
Is that still going on?
Yeah, it's
because it went down, I think.
It did. And Andover, the town I'm from in particular, had a huge opioid problem.
Did it really?
And it's still receiving settlement money
from the suit against, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk to the audience. Andover is quite an upper middle class suburb, quite north of Boston, and not a place that you hear about crime or, any kind of disruption or any kind of, it seems like a town that's pretty stable and probably long-term residents.
Yeah, a lot of long-term residents. People that have grown up there, lived there their whole lives.
Right. And yet, you're saying there was an opioid.
Big opioid problem.
So what does that say, guys? What does that say about like West Virginia or something? I mean, it's incredible. How did they get it to go down, if they have?
Well, I think that's
a tough question. Yeah.
It's a great question because it has gone down.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what the tactics they used in Andover and in larger Massachusetts were. Yeah. But I think it has to do with, looking very carefully at the social emotional state of children and teenagers. Right. Because when that stress exists, kids are going to turn to drugs and alcohol.
That's right. I mean, I like the fact that Connor used social emotional because that's really the central aspect of psychotherapy, because we know that the only way to address it really is on a communal basis. Addressing it one person at a time is not the best use of psychotherapeutic resources. Yeah. I believe strongly, not only group therapy, but there's even people who do community therapy. Usually they might do it when there's a crisis. Yeah. Like if there's been a shooting at a school, there will be community therapy, but it's not done enough. It can be used in a lot of other situations. What do you think of that, Connor?
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Community and, mass trauma is a thing.
That's right. That's right.
From, whether it's from a single traumatic event or a long-term societal issue.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to hire him right now. We're going to hire him. So what would you say, you said the affordability thing. Yeah, do you think affordability has become a much more hot issue that people are talking about, partly because of Mondama in New York City, the new mayor, I think.
I think so. Zoran, he took the issue of affordability, which has been there.
Of course.
And he made it mainstream.
That's right.
And he said, this is not like an isolated issue.
Right.
This is not, poor people are still poor.
Right.
Shocking. Yeah. It's not like that.
Because it goes way up.
The issue of affordability and said, it's not just the lower
class,
the lower class or the working class that's dealing with cost of living issues. It's everyone up into the upper middle class.
That's right. That's right. And we haven't paid attention to it. Yeah. And so it's really good. And so you're the kind of guy who would pay attention to it. People that you've met, a lot of, residents, a lot of voters. Well, what about voters who are 18 to 25? Talk about them for a second.
Voters who are 18 to 25.
By the way, guys, have you heard about 18 to 25? That's a big demographic we talk about all the time. Yeah.
Oh, is that on the show?
No, I mean in general, the world talks about it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Sure. That. Yeah.
So I like to think we're the up and comers, I think a lot of voters who are considering voting for the first time are holding off on voting until they find someone who really speaks to them. I've had people reach out to me since I announced my campaign to say, hey, you're going to be the first person I voted for.
Okay, good.
Because you speak to the issues that really affect me.
Right.
You're not posturing.
Right.
You're not, speaking in, pre-written general terms. You're given a list of talking points by a party. I'm a Democrat. I'm a proud Democrat.
Yes.
But I'm not going to read off their platform packet, you know?
Oh, by the way, folks, he is not an imposter syndrome guy. He's not imposter syndrome, which is a term I think that the younger generation, I mean, younger than me, invented. I love the term. I've learned it from my clients. So we've got here Connor, not imposter syndrome guy. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, no, people want candidates and they want leaders who speak to the issues that are actually directly affecting them.
Okay.
We've pretended for too long like being poor is the fault of poor people.
Oh, yes.
When you have a country where over 50% of the wealth is aggregated by 1% of the population,
right.
That's not equitable.
Of course.
That is symptomatic of a broken system.
Yes.
So yeah, young people are saying, this is not the world I was promised. I was promised I could grow up and do whatever I wanted and be whoever I wanted to be, not make half of what I need to survive.
Yeah. And there's the thing about what percentage of people could survive for a month. What's the story on that? But if they didn't have, if they were unemployed, how could they survive? What percentage of people could survive for a month without getting income from a job? It's really small.
You know, I don't know the exact statistic. I've never heard it.
Okay.
But I would assume it's like,
I
don't know. I'm not going to guess.
Okay.
I would say, in my experience, less than 20%
I agree.
of people.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So the older folks that you run into, what do they think of you running? They must be excited or something?
They are, again, surprised at first,
and
then extremely excited and energized to see young people involved in politics.
Good.
I think there's a general perception in America, especially amongst the left, that young people have given up on politics because it's let them down so many times.
Yes.
And candidates like Zoran.
It was very young. It was like 35. How young? About 36 or something?
Like 35, 36. Yeah, on the younger side.
Right.
Candidates like Zoran energize young people because they focus on the issues.
Right.
So young people are energized for the first time and wanting to get back into politics because they say, oh, we can make a difference. And older people are energized because they say, thank God that young people are doing this.
Exactly.
Because once you reach a certain age, I imagine that there is a fear of what comes next.
For
me,
What would
How do we keep this movement going?
Yes. And what would you say, by the way, can we have you turn 24 right on this show? When are you turning 24?
November 8th.
All right, we can't do
5 days after election day.
Oh, really? Whoa, that's a lot of pressure. What would you say is the biggest disappointment for people? Is it like climate change? What would be the biggest disappointment for people your age in looking at what has not changed and what was supposed to change? Or what we thought would change?
Climate change is huge. Environmental activism was really big for me in college.
Okay.
I sort of transitioned from the gun control space into the environmental space.
Right.
I like to think I did both, but eventually the environment became a priority.
But you still did Broadway shows.
Yeah.
You did?
No, I never did a Broadway show.
Okay.
I did a couple movies, though.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay, go ahead.
I was an actor for a bit. But
about the disappointment.
The disappointment of climate change. And you hear so often about the next benchmark of, we're going to hit this benchmark, and once we pass it, there's no going back. And then
about climate change, about reducing,
it keeps moving. The flag keeps moving further and further down the field, And it's like, okay, we keep crossing these benchmarks and it's going to get harder and harder to get back to a world that does have environmental justice.
Yeah.
Because, black and brown and indigenous communities, by the way, in the United States are absolutely getting the brunt of the impact.
Right, because they have there's the food desert. What other kinds of things would you call? There's the food deserts in black and brown neighborhoods.
Yeah, there's
no place to buy good food. Right?
Well, yeah, and that's an affordability thing too.
Yeah.
There's no place to buy good affordable food.
Yeah, right. Lack of parks.
But I mean, like in places like Alaska, where there's a high proportion of indigenous folks.
Yes.
They are literally being forced out of their communities by climate change.
Oh, to cities?
Just away from their traditional, their native land, because the climate is literally eroding around them.
Oh yeah, the thing about like polar bears and reindeer and what kind of things are leaving.
Yeah.
Or they can't survive. Yeah.
Yeah. If they live in a particularly, coastal wet environment, a lot of snow as it heats up.
Yeah.
That snow melts, the sea level rises, and boom, our town is underwater.
Exactly.
And it's not just their town, it's their land. That's the real important part.
Yeah.
It's their land. You can't farm on land. You can't raise animals. You can't.
When they're underwater.
When it's underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what's amazing, Connor, is that people who might be sort of quasi supporting Trump, I mean, let's say not extreme, and who might be convinced of something, wouldn't they like pay attention to the fact that climate, whether they believe that evolution doesn't exist or whatever shit, they've had to see outrageous changes in climate experiences, right?
Yeah.
How
they couldn't possibly be man-made. That's the talking point there, is it couldn't possibly be man-made.
Yeah.
All the data. Al Gore's been talking about this since the 1980s.
And Kerry too.
And John Kerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, this has been known for decades and decades.
Of course.
The data shows it, and you still hear the same talking point in 2026.
Even now.
Not as much, but even now. Now with Trump in office, and you see the rollback of clean energy, that rhetoric starts to make a comeback.
Yeah. Well, why would God be more pissed off now?
I don't know.
What pisses him off?
Maybe it's the way we're treating, over half of our population.
Yeah. I mean,
you ask me, and I'm a Christian. I'm proud of my faith.
Okay.
I think.
How did you grow up in terms of Christianity?
I grew up Catholic.
Okay.
And now I just call myself a Christian. I think that unity aspect is important.
Okay.
Unity, not uniformity. There's a difference.
Oh, cool. That's a good way of putting it.
Like I drove past a church on my way here to see you, and it said, "No king except the Messiah."
Oh, good. Yeah. No king. What?
No king except the Messiah.
Except the Messiah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that got you excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think there's a perception that especially young Christian men are super conservative. They're alt-right. They are Christian nationalists.
Yeah, the Christian nationalist thing is really dangerous.
It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous. And in my opinion, the reason why is because loving God and loving your neighbor is a choice. That requires a willingness. You put yourself into it because you want to. You say, I choose God. I choose love. Okay. Instead of putting the 10 Commandments in the classroom of kids in Texas and saying, hey, you don't get to choose. You choose our God above any other God because we say you do.
Yeah.
That's not Christian.
No. And I mean, people forget about the whole point of one of the major points of the Constitution is about separation of church and state, and no official religion and all that, which has kept us really, really safe. I mean, not safe, but much more at peace. Yeah. Otherwise, like Europe, there've been thousands and thousands of battles between Protestants and Catholics. Sure. I mean, huge stuff for years.
Yeah.
Let alone how they persecuted Jews for so long.
Yeah.
My God. So, one of the guys I was talking to today, somebody about your age, was talking about when he found out I was a psychotherapist. He said, "Have you read Viktor Frankl? Have you heard of Viktor Frankl?"
I have.
I mean, everybody, it's amazing to me that people in your generation have learned about the Holocaust and learned about Jewish history in public schools. Yeah. We didn't get that at all.
Really?
I mean, not at all. Zero. Wow. But of course, I learned it from my parents and so forth and so on. But the idea of non-Jews learning about these important things as a red flag about history, a red flag. And there's so many red flags going on right now. Talk to me about some of the red flags you've seen.
The red flags. I mean, I think that like on the federal level.
Yeah.
It's not even the federal level. It's the state level in Texas.
Yeah, it was Texas.
I'll throw it back to that.
Go ahead.
That Ten Commandments bill.
They're doing that too.
That's a red flag on the separation of church and state.
Yeah.
I'm on the board of the Thomas Paine Historical Association.
Thomas Paine, we love.
Thomas Paine was, he was a theist.
Yes.
But he believed very, very, very strongly in the separation of church and state. He believed it was critical to the functioning of a successful democracy. Because once you impose a religion on a whole group of people, the religion it's a diverse thing. You are inevitably keeping somebody down.
Yeah, and you're also destroying religion. I mean, you're distorting religion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said Thomas Paine, what was it called? The group you were talking about?
The Thomas Paine Historical Association.
Did you hear about that, Johans? Okay, we're going to have to track those guys down. Where are they? No, that's great. I mean, just the name.
Yeah.
Talk about Thomas Paine for a minute.
Well, Thomas Paine, as I'm sure you know, what he's best known for is Common Sense. He wrote Common Sense. Yeah, which inspired, the American Revolution. Really, right. He was the first American activist. That's how I like to think of Thomas Paine.
That's cool.
He was not a war hero.
Yeah.
He was not a politician.
Right.
He was an activist. He was an organizer.
Right.
He was a writer. He was a political theorist.
Right.
And he single-handedly, in my opinion, changed the course of history.
Wow.
He was impactful here in the United States.
And in England.
Impactful in England. He was impactful during the French Revolution.
Oh, too. Also there.
Yeah. He was actually imprisoned during the French Revolution.
In France.
Yes, in France. Yeah.
And he was born in England.
Uh-huh.
And he came over because he came here specifically, right?
Yep.
I mean, he chose to come here.
Yeah, he was a corset maker, supposedly.
Okay, that's not a bad job. I mean, Thomas Paine, and we don't learn about him that much.
No, we should learn about him more.
We should learn about him.
He's hugely important.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been working on a project that indicates that he may have been the primary writer of the Declaration of Independence, not Thomas Jefferson.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a document, one of the original copies of the Declaration of Independence.
Was written
on the back, it says, copied with the permission of T.P.
Thomas
Not
Paine.
TJ, TP. So, interesting. Again, I'm no professional historian.
Right.
I'll leave that to the professionals. But it reads a lot like Thomas Paine to me.
Yeah.
All men are created equal.
Yes. And you saw the American Revolution thing by, what's his name? Ken Burns.
Sure.
You saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
So did
by the way, I reached out to when I decided to run. Received a blessing from the man himself. Yeah.
Really? Okay. How'd you reach out?
Oh, just over email.
Okay. And what did he say? He said, I'm going to come and do a fundraiser for you.
Oh, he just said good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
He's got a lot on his plate.
I'm sure. What did you think of the documentary?
I thought it was great.
I did too.
I thought it was great. I think his documentaries are always great because they're honest.
Yeah.
Above everything else, they're honest.
Right. And he chooses great people to interview, the people who are the experts on the side part. Were great. He chooses great people.
He does. I think he interviewed Daniel Allen for that, who's a Harvard professor who wrote what's the name of the book? It's Justice by Means of Democracy.
That's a good title.
I think that's the name of the book. Justice by Means of Democracy. Yeah. Highly recommend it.
Okay, did you hear that, Johan's coming? Listen, okay. So Johan's had to pass one of those tests, for citizenship.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not an easy test. And they make you go through a lot of fucking steps to become a citizen.
Yeah.
He had already been here 12 years, most of the time in Miami area.
Okay.
And then he chose to move here to Boston for good reasons. He likes the sense of community and so forth. And he likes the sense of education a lot. Yeah.
One of the best, educational
places
in the world.
In the world, yeah. And so, and it's also, it's a safe blue state. Unlike Florida. Unlike Florida, Jesus.
Fair.
So it's like, but when people say, my grandparents came legally, but the point, a couple of things is, one, it was much easier to come. You didn't have to go through years and years and years of steps to get approved.
Yeah.
And two, there were a lot of people who came illegally through contacts, through connections. Somebody who, waved them in at Ellis Island or something. I mean, there was a lot of corruption, of course, right?
Yeah. I imagine.
So people, when they say that, as some kind of arrogant attack on people now, don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so many things like that, Connor. There's so many historical things that most Americans don't know. And it's not just your generation. It's
it's everyone. I'd
everyone.
love to know I'm sure there's studies on this, what percent
of people
of Americans, native-born Americans would be able to pass that citizenship test.
That's right.
Something tells me, unfortunately, it's probably
low.
Not the majority.
Yeah. Yeah. And knowing the Constitution, I mean, just and knowing the essence of the Constitution, knowing what the point is, know.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of educating to do, a lot.
Yeah.
And people when you get elected, we know you're getting elected. I already talked to the what do you call it?
Secretary of the Commonwealth.
No,
Bill Galvin. You're gonna twist this a little bit, right?
I talked to fortune tellers. That's even better. I went down to New Orleans and talked to fortune tellers.
Good, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So when you got along with a lot of good people, and you've probably met quite a few by now, have you? Other state reps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
And what do you think?
Great. I interned for a state rep in college.
Which one?
Vanna Howard, currently running for the state Senate.
Okay. Where is that, a guy or a woman?
It's a woman.
Okay.
She's a Cambodian woman, Cambodian immigrant.
Okay.
Who
is she in Lowell?
Incredible. She is. She's in Lowell. He's in Lowell and Tewksbury.
Okay.
So actually, we're both.
In the same district?
If she does not get elected to the state Senate, we would both be, and I do get elected to the state rep seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would both be part of the Tewksbury delegation.
So you wouldn't have to run against each other?
No.
No, okay.
Different districts.
And what did you feel from her? What did you get a sense from meeting her?
From her, I learned that being a state rep is not just about taking constituents' opinions and bringing it to the legislature.
Yeah.
It's the other way around too. It's taking what's happening in the State House and on Beacon Hill and bringing it back to people through events, through community events, through bringing funding to people, through just going out into the community and sitting down with everyone and making an effort to say, hey, I know you might be going through something right now.
Yeah.
I, as your representative, am going to be there for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to advocate for you,
of course,
to whoever it takes, because that's the job. So I was really inspired by her.
Yeah, the constituent services. Constituent services. Yeah. But you can also do the larger macro stuff too, right? Not only the individual constituent services.
Yeah, you can do policy too.
Yeah, policy, right.
I was really excited that you asked me to come today because I actually want to say for the first time what the very first piece of legislation I want to file if I get elected is.
Wait a minute, we need a drum roll. Can you do a drum roll?
Of course.
He's about to. Okay.
You can hear it.
Drum roll. Let me make sure I get the bill number right. It is H2151.
Can you remember that? H2151.
H2151. It's called an Act to Protect Injured Workers.
Oh, shit. That is. You mean aside from workers' comp?
So it revolves around workers' comp.
Yeah.
And specifically what it does is there are cases of retaliation and threats from employers against workers
who have been injured,
who have been injured and are thinking of reporting that injury or filing a comp claim. And there's retaliation against them. And it's...
You mean before they file? Maybe before?
Yeah, they say, don't you dare do it, or there's going to be consequences.
Oh, my God.
And now that the immigration issue has become so large, the threat
people would be afraid to even file.
We're going to call ICE, and we're going to have you deported. So we don't have to take responsibility for this stuff.
All right, so this new bill, that's outrageous.
It's outrageous, and that's one of those bigger policy issues that in the state legislature we can look at that and say, how freaking unethical is that?
Yes.
The state government has the responsibility to protect its workers.
Of course.
These are people who work their butts off every day to make our state better.
Right.
And the state needs to give that same energy back to them.
Right. And protection.
Yeah.
And would it be hard to get a lot of co-sponsors on that?
I hope not.
I don't think so.
The bill already exists.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah,
so the bill already exists.
Filed currently by Rep. Wynn, who, again, I'm running to fill her seat now that she's going, running
for Congress. Okay.
Now that she's going for Congress, that bill, if it doesn't get accepted by a committee and moved forward for a vote this session, before June, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Then that bill is just gone unless somebody else picks it up.
But wait a minute, but you're not getting elected. Would that be before you would get elected, that it might, disappear?
The risk is there. Without her voice advocating for it.
Right, because you're not going to get elected at the earliest until November.
Right. So in January 2027, the very first thing I am going to do
is file it again?
Is refile that bill.
If it doesn't get passed.
Workers and immigrants are the backbone of American society. How many times have we heard that from our leaders? Our leaders need to show it. Yeah. This is how I'm going to show it.
Yeah.
I think that this is a great first step in looking at policy, statewide policy, and saying, we're going to give that energy back to you. You help us.
Yeah.
We keep you safe from manipulative practices like that.
And did you hear about that from that state rep? What's her name again?
Trom Wynn. She's fantastic.
Did you already know about
really
it
an advocate.
Yeah.
But no, I have read every single current bill in the legislature. Every single one.
Okay, hold on.
Every single one.
All right, this guy needs to be liberated from the thing he was talking about, teenager. Well, he's not a teenager, working too hard. So the guy's got one job. He's got, a side hustle, and he's going out and meeting everybody. And then at night, at 3 a.m, he's reading legislation, which is not the most exciting stuff, and does not.
It is for me.
And
I'm a nerd. I'm a total nerd.
And does not have graphics. It's not. There's no graphic version, I don't think.
I wish. Pictures would make it a lot more
That's
entertaining.
What I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me about all those legislation pieces you've read.
Yeah, there's thousands. There's thousands every single session.
Right.
Filed in both the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
There are 180 House members.
Yes.
And each of them file about 25 bills on average.
Really?
Yeah.
Even ones who are lazy? Aren't there ones who are lazy?
Even the lazy ones.
Okay.
Yeah, you never see them in the State House advocating for their own bills. You never see them testifying for their bills. You never see them showing up to committee meetings.
Yeah.
You see them for votes. You never see them in the community. So there are lazy legislators.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I actually, when I was field director for a different current state rep, we ran against one of those lazy legislators who had been in office for 10 years. We kicked him out.
Did he admit he was lazy? No, he didn't.
Absolutely not. But he was lazy. And, he's a nice guy, but he was lazy.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
I know,
I'm committed to being a full-time legislator.
Good. Okay. So it's not a side hustle. Let me tell the audience.
Not a side
hustle. He's not doing a side hustle.
No.
Okay. So legislation you read, you came up with that as one of the most important ones.
I do. I think that's really important.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Mostly because it'll just be gone if somebody doesn't pick it up.
Oh, right. Okay. You mean it's hard to gain a lot of support for it, you think?
I don't think it's hard to gain support for. I think you say we're going to support workers.
Yeah. We're going to support immigrants. Yeah, unions. Yeah,
unions love it. Unions have a lot of influence in what legislators do. They represent the working people of Massachusetts. They're
and the ones, and it's the SEIU that represents those guys.
Yeah,
which is a very strong union.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. So
and then there's the immigration aspect, which is so important right now. It's in the public eye because of what's happening at the federal level.
Definitely.
You say we're going to do both at the same time. That's huge.
Yeah.
I want to get that passed. And again, maybe I'm being ambitious. Freshman rep coming in and saying, I'm going to pass this huge piece of legislation in my first term. Wait a minute, I think ambition's good.
Yes. Is somebody going to try to put you down for being like that?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
I hope not. I want to help the people of Massachusetts.
Excellent.
I think the people in the legislature, all the other electeds want the same thing at the end of the day.
Yeah. And on the Senate side too.
Oh yeah, definitely on the Senate side.
That's great that you chose that one as the first thing that you really want to, campaign for. That you really want to, that you really, really want to, yes, yeah. What about the roads? I hate the roads in Massachusetts. Can we do anything about the roads? I thought that maybe some genius at MIT could come up with a road surface that wouldn't get fucked up from the change of weather. The potholes. We've got terrible roads.
We do.
They're terrible roads.
They're not great.
Yeah.
How would you feel about expanding public transit?
Well, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my priority.
That's your priority. Well, I would like to see really high-speed train. First of all, Amtrak, for example, which is not exactly, it is public.
It's federal, but
it's federal. We should have a way of getting to New York City in an hour and a half or 2 hours. Okay. And we should have a way of getting
you want high-speed rail.
Definitely. And we should have a way of getting to D.C. maybe 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, this isn't necessarily an endorsement of his campaign. I'm not endorsing either way.
Okay.
Seth Moulton made high-speed rail
one of
the priorities of his congressional tenure.
Really? Okay.
So
Seth, you're welcome to come on the show.
And then Ed Markey made climate legislation one of the landmarks of his senatorial
and I like them
tenure.
both.
So
I like them both.
Thumbs up to both of them on those issues.
So how far did he get? How far did Moulton get in pushing that about high-speed train?
The congressional Republicans blocked it at every step they could.
It's unbelievable. As we know, one of the things that I think encourages change is that a lot of people your age and a little bit older have traveled to Europe, have spent, internships, and they always come back with the same report, that the quality of life is much better.
Yeah.
And they recognize it, and they compare it, and they're disappointed.
We're the only developed country
without the health care.
Without Medicare for all.
Yeah, yeah. And
that's crazy.
It is
crazy.
And the transportation and so many things. So many things. So you would think, well, it will happen. There is a push, there is movement, there is momentum in that direction, just from people seeing the opposite.
Yeah.
Seeing the alternatives.
Yeah.
And somebody out there is not. I mean, these Republicans who would be against expanding public transportation, well, whose pocket are they in? The tire companies? I don't know. What?
Oil and gas.
Oil and gas, right, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The oil and gas industry. It usually is.
Right.
The good old boys. They're absolutely
fanatic.
Yeah, I'm not going to get any donations from the oil and gas lobby.
So he's ready to talk openly.
I think they're they're terrible.
Yeah. And they're fanatic about it. All right, I want to go back to the gun control thing because a couple of things. One is I believe that the most successful slogan of any advocacy group is this one: friends don't let friends drive drunk. It was just a simple thing, Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Right.
And it's become, I mean, it really sunk down. It really filtered down to the population, even to bartenders. I mean, basically, people watch out for people leaving a bar room drunk, right?
Yeah.
And friends don't let friends drive drunk, okay? So something needs to happen on the gun control thing, but something really dramatic on that level. But one of the things I think has to be changed about the gun control is, let's call it what it is. It's actually weapons control. It's not guns.
Yeah.
Nobody's using guns. Nobody's using, like, in the Wild West, pulling out, I don't know, what do they call it? Nobody's using a BB gun.
Six-shooter.
Yeah, my six-shooter. People are using AK-47. They're using everything.
Yeah.
And they're using grenades. They're using everything. So it's really weapons control.
Yeah.
And maybe that would make a bigger impact on people. What do you think?
I think maybe it would, yeah, because guns can be a tool or they can be a weapon. There's a great song called "A Gun is a Working Man's Tool" or something. Yeah. It's a great song. It's about the Vietnam War. It's about this kid who was growing up and his dad put a gun in his hand and said, "Go out and hunt."
Oh yeah.
He goes out and hunts, and he uses it as a tool, and he gets sent to the Vietnam War 10 years later.
Yeah.
And he sees it used as a weapon. And then he comes back home and he has his own kid and he has the chance to put a gun in his hand and say, "This is a tool, but this time remember it's also." It has the potential to be more than a tool. This is a weapon. This is a killing machine.
And watch out for that.
Watch out for that.
Is that a country western? It's got to be a country western.
It absolutely is. I wish I could remember who wrote it or if that's even the right name of the song. I might have the song name wrong.
Well, we were going to ask Connor to sing it even. We were going to ask him to Connor to sing.
Put an addition, of course.
What's that?
We'll layer it over the top.
Yeah, right. Well, so, okay, that's a damn good aspect of it. But something that would be really catchy, like the Mothers Against, I think that's a brilliant slogan.
Yeah.
Friends don't let, it's so definite. What's that?
Connects to people.
Yeah, and it's so clear. It's so concrete, Yeah. And we've been trying to get gun control, I'll call it weapons control, for a long time. And we haven't really succeeded, right? And I think we need a new approach to the campaign. What do you think? We need a really creative thing. By the way, Senator from, you would like this, Senator from Connecticut wrote a book about the violence within us. The book is here somewhere by Senator Murphy. Is it Senator Murphy? Chris Murphy.
Okay.
It was very...
The Violence Inside Us.
The Violence Inside Us. Chris Murphy. Yeah, you have the book?
Yeah, there it is.
Pull it out. Okay, do you see it? It's a great book.
The Violence Inside Us.
Yeah, and it's a spiritual book.
Really?
He's got a real spiritual message.
He's the senator
from Connecticut.
I should know that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, read the book. It's great because he's talking about empathy. He's talking about, other people. He talks about he had never really gotten to know the Black community in East Hartford. I think it's East Hartford. And then he really went out to get to know it. And he really, really learned a lot. And it's like really inspiring. And of course, he hasn't succeeded in getting there, but we need people like him who's got a spiritual message. And, and really, thank you for pulling that up, man.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning
it. It would probably take me a couple of years to find it again.
I'm going to add it to my reading list.
Oh, good.
Just leave it here.
Yeah, and it's like we need people to see in the broadest context. To see things like that in the broadest context. Yeah. Like what you said about the father with the kid. Yeah. That's a really broad context.
Yeah.
And we need to say, and aren't we the only country in the world, a Western country, a developed country, that has this much violence?
Yeah.
This much violence.
And the United States, it's not like, the United States is an outlier because the people of the United States are inherently assholes. Or we're violent people.
Yeah.
No, it's our policies.
Yeah.
Policy, like guns, it's a tool.
Right.
It's a tool, but it can also be a weapon.
That's right.
And right now, I think too many mainstream politicians make enemies out of the other side, and they say, I'm going to use this policy as a weapon to hurt the people I don't like and to get more power for myself. We need more politicians who are motivated by integrity and say, I want to use this as a tool to help my neighbors, to help the person next door to me, to help the person across the country that I've never even met, because that's what we do. That's what we do. Well, we help each other. And by helping each other, we help ourselves.
Right. And we're supposed to be a country, not just separate states. Right. We're supposed to be a nation.
Yeah.
A nation, not just... So
we are the United States of America. Yeah.
Talk about the word integrity. I like that word a lot. A lot.
Yeah. I think it's basic honesty. It's transparency. It's going into office with a commitment to being there for people and not yourself.
Yeah.
Or not partied or financial interests.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'll take money from people.
Yeah.
If the oil and gas lobby wants to give me money, I encourage it. Donate to my campaign, please.
But you're not going to vote their way, right?
No, it's not going to influence me. In any way.
Yes.
That's, in my view, that's integrity. I don't think we see that enough in modern politics.
Definitely.
And I understand the reason why so many people want to ban that sort of, corporate lobbying and donations, because it hasn't been successful. There aren't politicians with integrity who say, thanks for the donation, but this is what I'm sticking with. They say, thanks for the bribe, I'll change my vote over now. And that's the problem. So maybe the issue is with, allowing corporate lobbying. I don't know. I mean, I'm not running for federal office.
Right, he's not. But we know Citizens United really changed everything. And also on the gun control for a second, there was a Supreme Court decision in about 2011 or something in D.C., with D.C. Circuit, that said that it kind of prevents states from regulating guns. It was called Heller versus something. It's an extreme decision, and it really takes out the possibility of local authorities to regulate guns in the sense of gun control and so forth.
Heller v. New York?
I think it was versus D.C.
Oh, D.C.
I'm not sure, But, nobody talks about that. There's just so many things that have gone wrong, and we've got to have optimism, and you've got it, all right? You've got optimism. I'm going to have you come as my optimistic coach once a week here to give me a shot of optimism. Okay.
That's what I am. The daily dose.
The daily dose.
The doctor prescribed some optimism.
Yeah, right.
Hey, my slogan for my campaign is choose hope.
That's good.
It's choose hope.
Yeah.
Because it is so easy in the 21st century in 2026 to look at the world around us and say, oh my God.
I know.
I can't go on like this. It's easier to tune out and give up. But the second people tune out and give up, they win.
Oh, yeah.
Bad guys win.
Yeah.
So choose hope. Vote for candidates that do have integrity.
Right.
Get out into the streets.
Right.
Protest.
Right.
Share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Be a creative, empathetic person publicly.
Yeah.
Because it inspires people.
Right. So talk about you. We ran into each other today. Talk about what we were doing today.
Yeah. Today we were out in the streets.
Yeah.
We were out by the Burlington Ice facility. And that is, by the way, like a prison in, hiding in plain sight.
That's right.
And
as a regular office building. And there's no sign.
Crazy.
There's no sign.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there's no sign. It looks like a corporate office building.
That's right.
But they're detaining people there in the basement.
Right. That's right.
Like that's dystopian to me.
Good word.
That's dystopian.
Good word. Good word. Can you teach people that word?
Yeah, I think people just a lot of the times use dystopian without actually knowing what it means.
Yeah, the word 1984. I mean, there's been so much stuff that starts to feel like that.
Yeah.
And think about it. Burlington is one of the most, kind of non-exciting, suburban kind of, middle of the road, I don't know, quasi type place. It's not, it's not an dynamic place. And here it is. But Burlington has risen to the occasion. The town has voted against this shit completely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No,
oh,
I didn't.
Man,
That's
really strongly. Yeah. The town.
Local governments.
Yeah, local government. Yeah. And they're very much against it.
Good.
Which is great. So we've got a chance, sometimes I got to admit, Connor, that I do feel some optimism. But when you look at the violence that's gone on this past week, not just the killing of her, Nicole Good. Yeah. But also there's many, many, many other shots of violence. I mean, we don't want to look at it, but it's there. It's really there. And it's on YouTube, whatever, on MSNBC or MS. And then the whole thing with the media, well, I'm going to be talking about that in a minute on my own. The media has tried to neutralize art. What's the word? When you try to make, I'm sorry. Hey guys, I'm out there. I'm sorry. To make it seem normalized. There we go. To normalize Trump. And yet everything he's done is unprecedented. Unprecedented.
Oh, yeah. No, it's totally unprecedented. He's talking about, activating the Insurrection Act.
Yeah. I mean,
that hasn't happened since the Rodney King riots.
Yeah.
In LA.
That's right. Yeah.
And though that was extreme.
Yes.
That was really extreme. You look at what's happening in Minneapolis today. Those are justifiably angry people.
Well, yeah.
They are not
rioters. And they're not burning down buildings.
Right. This isn't even it's not even anywhere near the level of protesting that we were seeing during the George Floyd.
And George Floyd.
Yeah. And definitely not the Rodney King.
Yeah. And so, there's unprecedented stuff. And the mainstream are what they call the legacy media, or let's say, Fox News, can normalize. They can find like these obscure little reasons to normalize outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
That anybody who covered, who knows anything about history knows is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And we need to alert people to that. We're trying. And you and I tried today. We did it.
We did. And there were a lot of people there.
That's right.
It wasn't just us.
That's right. And we had way more.
All together.
And we had way more than the other side. We
did. Yeah. We did have way more than them. And
all the honks were for us.
You know what I noticed? Yeah. All the honks were for us. And then what we were doing is we were singing songs.
Oh, I missed that.
We were singing songs. We were giving hopeful speeches. There were poems. There was, nods to Martin Luther King.
Right.
And can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Across the street, they're yelling, I wish you guys would go the fuck away. I hate you.
Yeah.
Pure, unadulterated hate.
Well, talk about the photograph you saw.
Oh, yeah. So,
it's hard to talk, but you got to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. I think it really illustrates the worst of the worst in the MAGA movement. And I don't think it's the Republican Party. Yeah. I think a lot of them are complicit, the Republican leadership.
Oh, they've been very complicit.
But I'm talking about the alt-right
extremists.
Neo-Nazis. Extremists. They're neo-Nazis. The sign, this guy had a bright yellow sign, and on it, it said, brace yourself, gas the immigrants. Out in public, no mask, face bared for the world to see, gas the immigrants. They're not scared anymore.
Yeah, to do that, yeah.
They're not scared anymore because the White House and our federal government has given them the okay to say, you're a racist, you're an anti-Semite, you're a Nazi. And it's Get out there and be yourself, buddy. Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. All right, we're going to have to look at him. He's saying wrap it up. But that's because, what, is the charge wrapping up? Johans?
Johnny.
Yeah.
Continue.
No. You want me to continue? No. Yeah.
Closing.
Yeah, we are. Okay. Did you hear how good this was?
To the camera, no me.
Okay.
Because, you are looking to
the whole time?
No.
The whole time? Just now. Okay. All right. But you liked the interview, right?
I love it.
He always says that. Okay. Connor, we're going to say goodbye to Connor. And you're going to, what do we need? We want to put on B-roll, a thing about your campaign, like a sign or something.
Sure.
So do you have anything with you? Or otherwise just send it.
Yeah,
you can even send it by
my website is Murray4ma.com.
Okay.
Murray4ma.com. All of my info about my campaigns on there. You can sign up for updates on the race. You can sign up to be a volunteer. You can donate if you can. That would be awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, check it out.
Okay.
I'd be honored to have your support.
Excellent, man. Okay. Really good. Really good.
I appreciate you.
I hope you like this.
Yeah, I loved it.
I did too.
Great conversation.
Yeah, I loved it a lot too, man.